Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Leon Master, and welcome back to part 2 of ranking every signing in the offseason worst to best. We are on to number 35 through 1, actually. Like I said in my past video, all these signings are good, all these players are good. I'm just ranking them worst to best, and obviously, like I said, all these signings have their places in their teams, and it is based off the impact they're bringing to the team, and also just compared to other signings as well. And if you didn't hear a player that got ranked, I definitely recommend checking the description below, because one, there has been players I have never seen before, or two, I have seen the players play before, I just don't have a full opinion on him just yet. Anyways, let's go and jump on to the first one. Number 35 is going to be Jaru on the LA Gladiators. I think a lot of people are also very underrating the signing. He was my number 1 underrated signing in my top 10 video, and I think a lot of people are ignoring how much Jaru actually brings to LA Gladiators. I think Jaru was the main reason, one of the biggest players they actually really wanted when it comes to this team. Jaru can play almost anything when it comes to the DPS area. If Birding's performing bad, Jarl can come in and play some of that hit scan. If Mirror's performing at a low level, you probably want Jarl to come in, or Jarl could end up being starting over Mirror in general, which I could probably see happening because I think Jarl is better than Mirror, but want to see how things work out with the LA Gladiators. Now at the number 34, it is going to be Swimmer with the Boston Uprising. Another good pickup from the Boston Uprising. The support duo was pretty huge, honestly, for the Boston team. Now I think Swimmer coming in is actually a good main support. He does actually bring a lot to this team than what I think people think of. He's actually a good shot caller when it comes to certain things, so Swimmer is still a good pickup. I'll love to see his performances on the Boston Uprising when the time comes and see how he does, because he is one of my favorite main support players. Now to number 33, it is going to be Neptuno with the Guangzhou Charge. And I think a lot of people need to look how big the signing is for the Charge. Now yes, there is a bit of a playstyle downgrade when it comes to it, because Char was pretty aggressive and it actually fit Charge's playstyle a little bit well. Neptuno is a little bit more on the passive side. He can be aggressive at times, but the times I've seen him play, not the best when it comes to his aggressive playstyle, but his passive playstyle is very good. Now Neptuno, the main reason they brought him in because he's actually a very good shot caller. His ult usage is actually really good as well. I think that's honestly one of the main reasons they brought him in, was because of his comms and maybe a lot of his ult usage, because Chara did have a little bit of issues with that, but that's the only downside when it comes to Neptuno. Not as aggressive as Chara. Now the number 32 is going to be FDGod on the Washington Justice. Now I could have ended up putting him a little bit higher, and the main reason why is because this player is obviously known for some of his attitude issues on Boston Uprising. Now that could obviously change now that he's on a different team, but who knows if that's going to change or not. We've been hearing Washington not doing good in scrims, but like I've said in my past video, scrims don't really matter as much. But FDGod is still a fantastic player. I'll just see how he works around Arc and see how he works with this new team with him. But all around, just the main thing I'm worried about FDGod is his attitude. Now the number 31, it is going to be Fleta on the Shanghai Dragons. He is a great player, but the main reason he's probably this low, I guess some people would say, is because he was pretty inconsistent in Season 2 compared to Season 1 games. Now this could completely change the Shanghai Dragons, and it could 100% change because the whole team beside him and almost a whole new team, coaching staff, all of that. So it could end up fitting Fleta a little bit more than what we think, but time will tell. Now the number 30, a lot of Houston fans are probably going to hate this one. It is Jexay on the Houston Outlaws. And the reason I say this one is because yes, the main thing is that he is upgrade over Blank. Thing everyone really wanted to see happen to this team. The thing I'm worried about is because a lot of people think he's absolutely massive when it comes to it, but Jexay is not as huge of a player than people think of. Now he does have some comms here and there. He is decently aggressive, but Toby was all around also just better than Jexay as well. Jexay was pretty inconsistent as well in Seoul Dynasty, which is something you don't want on the Houston Outlaws, especially in this new upcoming season. So Jexay, a lot of worry as well, but Jexay is definitely better than Blink. Now into number 29, it is going to be Gator on the Atlanta Reign. Now a lot of you guys probably are thinking, why is Gator on this list? The reason why he's on this list is because now he's fully promoted and he's going to be playing his role mainly. Now yes, he played one game against the Florida Mayhem back in stage 1 when he played Reinhardt. That was his main role. Now obviously in the playoffs, in the times he was the end of the season, he was playing Sigma. That's not going to happen anymore. So it's basically a whole new signing for the Atlanta Reign, and fully promoted, could end up actually starting on the team with Hawk beside him, and I think that's actually pretty huge to think about. And especially if Ryan and D.Va is going to be meta, I would like to see Gator start over Pacbo. That's just my opinion. We've seen a lot of good plays come out of Gator with his Ryan, his most known hero, and he was also part of Ghosts, and that his Ryan was a huge reason why that happened. So Gator could end up fitting Atlanta Reign a little bit more this season with Hawk beside him and also the meta fitting beside him. Now the number 28 is going to be LA Valiant's recent pickup and their biggest pickup actually, KSP, and we've been already hearing good things of KSP on the LA Valiant. A lot of good things actually, making their scrims do a little bit better, and all around this, their DPS in general from the LA Valiant are just good. KSF, KSP, Shax, Supply, good DPS. I definitely think KSP brings a lot to this team. Even if they lose a lot of games, I definitely think KSP will still be a bright spot and end up being traded to a different team at the end of the day to like Season 4. Who knows? I definitely think KSP is a huge pickup. But keep this in mind, players ranked this low is not saying they're bad players or bad signs, because it gets pretty huge near like 20 top 10 especially. A lot of surprises also happened to me making this list, and I know a lot of people could end up liking it or hating it. Now the number 27 is going to be Hawk on the Atlanta Reign. Another huge reason why they did good in contenders. Gator, Hawk did fantastic in Atlanta Academy and contenders, a huge reason why they got pretty far in general. And Hawk coming in Atlanta Reign is also huge beside Gator, and maybe he'll start over Pogbo at some point, or just come in at some point. All around, Hawk's still a fantastic player, and it is good that he got fully promoted. Now at the number 26, it is going to be Void on the Shanghai Dragons, another huge pickup from the Shanghai Dragons, a very good one. And I know a lot of people honestly aren't a fan of the signing, which makes no sense because Void was a huge reason why he did good on LA Gladiators. He did a lot with LA Gladiators in Season 2 and 1, a huge reason why they did good many times. Void coming to the Shanghai Dragons will bring a lot to Stand 1 especially, and then, Void can teach a lot of things to Stand 1 as well from his previous tanks he's worked with. So Void can definitely fit this new Shanghai team. Now at the number 25, it is going to be Bernard on the London Spitfire, another huge pickup from the London Spitfire, another bright spot, pickup when it comes to the London Spitfire, like Bernard and Glister, huge pickups. And I definitely think Bernard will be a bright spot on this team, and he'll show how good he is. Could end up, like previous players, could end up being traded to a different team when Season 4 starts, or maybe even middle of the season, who knows. But Bernard, a great pickup from London Spitfire. It could actually end up carrying some wins for this team. Now at the number 24, a lot of people are underrating this player, about a lot actually. It is Lastro on the LA Valiant. A lot of people need to be aware of how good this player is. Huge player from LA Valiant, and he's a very aggressive off-support player that I feel like LA Valiant needs to do a lot, and he could definitely be in the conversation with like players like Jonak, Alarm, Rouge Hong, Twilight. I definitely think he can be around there. I don't think he's top 5, definitely top 10 for sure when it comes to LA Valiant. It honestly is surprising me that only LA Valiant looked at Lastro compared to other teams right now. Now at the number 23, it is going to be Repel on the Houston Outlaws. Another huge upgrade over the support line when it comes to the Rockets with the Houston Outlaws. I definitely think Repel brings a lot to this team. Just like Lastro, aggressiveness when it comes to this team. We've seen a lot of good things from Repel with the Vancouver Titans as well, and even on stream. Repel I definitely think is going to work with this team, and also with Jexay beside him. I just think it works all around for Houston Outlaws. Now at the number 22, it is going to be Hydration on the Houston Outlaws. Ranked pretty high, but I definitely think Hydration brings a lot to this team. He can play tanks if needed as a backup, and plays all the good projectile heroes that is needed in almost any meta. He learns heroes pretty fast. Hydration, good pickup from the Houston Outlaws. Hopefully it brings him far, because Hydration was on the LA Gladiators, did a lot of good things there. Hopefully it does not go down on the Houston Outlaws. Now at the number 21, it is going to be Gamsu on the Dallas Fuel. I definitely think Gamsu is a fantastic player. Just when it comes to the players above him, just a lot more things when it comes to those. But Gamsu, fantastic player, very positive figure. There is some, worrying issues, especially right now. That apparently him in scrims and him in closer as well had not been performing at a high level recently. But hey, that's like I said in almost everything. Scrims don't really matter that much. But Gamsu, I'm still a fan of the signing. It's not a bad signing as well. It's going to be ranked pretty low for the people above him. Now at the number 20, a lot of people are going to be shocked by this one. It is Sparkle on Paris Eternal. Now I know a lot of you guys are probably already saying, why is Sparkle ranked this low when he could be top 10 or maybe even top 3? The main reason why is because, one, obviously he's not going to be 18 until the end of May, which is a long time, and the Paris Eternal season could already be over by then, and Sparkle can't bring that back anytime soon. Now maybe there's a chance, maybe, but I don't see it happening. Now that's the main reason why. Sparkle not turning 18 at the end of May. Now obviously he can't control that. It's just, sucks for the Paris Eternal, because they could have signed maybe another player to replace Nico, because they could have released Nico and signed someone else, and Sparkle would stay as a sub till then, which probably could actually end up making the rank a little bit higher, just in case they had someone better than Nico right now, which is kind of a worrying thing, but that's mostly it. Now obviously when Sparkle comes in, gonna be massive, and it's not gonna be enough to save the Paris Eternal. Now the number 19, it is going to be OG on the LA Gladiators from the trade of Decay, and I think another thing with this signing is that there's a lot of risk, maybe not a lot, just a little bit of risk with OG, because he could be full-on inconsistent like he was on Dallas Fuel, could be tilted, but who knows? We haven't seen him on stage yet. That could be completely different of a story, but OG, I definitely think is a great player. All around, all of his tanks are high level, and him playing beside Space is going to be huge. I still think this is a good signing from the LA Gladiators, just a little bit of worrying with his inconsistent plays. Now the number 18, it is going to be Leave on the Chengdu Hunters, another huge signing for this team, mostly the main move they made this entire season. Now obviously you guys could say he was signed in season 2, which I get, but let's be real, he was mostly being signed for season 3, and that's why he's in this list. And Leave all around, Great hits game. We've already seen him play well in the Shanghai Masters tournament a little bit, the World Cup, obviously. Leaves is still going to be a fantastic player on this team, and we haven't really seen him play that much recently, mainly because we just know Leave has been pretty consistent all around. Now, the number 17, it is going to be Surefour on Toronto Defiant, another huge bright spot on this team that is going to be huge for this team. Just like Kariv, Surefour, those are the two bright players on this team for me. Surefour has been consistent 24/7 on the Gladiators. Now, in Season 1, he was pretty up and down, but Season 2 was huge for him, and I definitely think Season 3, he can make a bigger name for himself on this team, and I'll see what he can do with the Toronto Defiant. Now, the number 16, it is going to be Yaki on the Florida Mayhem. Now, I don't think this is enough for Florida Mayhem. I'm not saying that for Yaki right now. I definitely think Florida could have picked up more players, but Yaki on the team, massive, honestly, helping the DPS duel by a lot with Seiya player, and Yaki sounds pretty good on paper. But all around, I want to see how Yaki ends up performing on this team. If the team's still bad or not, we don't know. We haven't been hearing many good things of Florida as well. They're just not doing good in general. They only got Yaki and Gangnam Jin as pickups. Not enough pickups in my opinion, but Yaki's still a fantastic DPS player that could work really well. Now, the number 15 is going to be Hoppa on the NYXL. A good pickup as well for the NYXL. Very flexible player when it comes to his off-tank play. Now, yes, I wouldn't say he's Meko level. Maybe he could be, but I definitely think Hoppa is a little bit weaker when it comes to Meko. Let's see how Hoppa does perform, though, when it comes to the NYXL. Now, the number 14, Funny Astro on the Philadelphia Fusion. Now, this could be a hot take, but I think Funny Astro was a huge upgrade over Neptuno. You got a lot of aggressive plays with Funny Astro that can help this team. He can calm a lot. He's going to stick with his teams 24/7. Just very aggressive. He can switch up his playstyle anytime. He can be passive. He can be aggressive. And also, Funny Astro just gets a lot of kills as Lucio, which is probably going to be very hard in the Overwatch League, unlike contenders. But who knows? He could prove me completely wrong. But I want to see Funny Astro pop off a lot. But I think this is a good signing. Now, the number 13, another huge signing from the Toronto Defiant, Kariv. Now, I know a lot of people think he's overrated, and I can kind of understand that argument a little bit because, Ellie Valiant wasn't the best, but he popped off a lot in Stage 3 and Stage 4 with his Ana, most likely. And now Moira's going to be meta. I definitely think Kariv also was pretty strong in Moira back in the day when Moira was played a lot. But Kariv, still a strong player on the Toronto Defiant, still pretty huge, has a lot of impact as well in case this team does not do bad. He could end up carrying this team like he did in Ellie Valiant back in Stage 3 or 4, just with his Ana or his Moira. Who knows what could happen. Now, into number 12, it is Myeonbong on the Boston Uprising. Now, when it comes to the Boston Uprising, this was their best signing. All around, this was the best signing. Now, obviously, Myeonbong chose the Boston Uprising contract first out of all the trials he was given. He instantly wanted to be on the team, which I kind of get that a little bit. But Myeonbong, a very aggressive off-sport player, and just all around, he could end up being a top 10 off-sport player when it comes to this league. And I'm just very excited to watch him play besides Swimmer and on the Overwatch League in general. Now, to number 11, which could shock a lot of people actually for being this high, but it's Meko on the Houston Outlaws. Now, yes, Houston Outlaws could end up not performing that well. A lot of people have him on 19th or just bottom 3 in general because of the scrims been going on. Well, like I said, that doesn't really matter as much. Mostly the stage, on what happens on stage matters. But Meko, I think, is still a huge pickup. He actually has pretty good English than what people think of. Just go back to the NYXL videos. You can hear him speak English a little bit. It's very good. Meko has learned a lot through an NYXL, and him coming to Houston is kind of worrying, just with their team in general. Now, Muma Meko, we have been hearing things that they are pretty quiet. That could be, completely wrong. But Meko, I do think it is an insane off tank. He could be peeling a lot, unlike Spree and Coolmat. Muma and Meko does sound like a decent tank line, though. Now into top 10. I think a lot of stuff could surprise you, just like me. It surprised me as well when I was making this on stream. I had to change it around a little bit on stream as well. But number 10, to start it off, is going to be Lee Jae-gon on the Shanghai Dragons. A huge pickup this team made as a main support pickup. Way better than Koma. Very aggressive. Can do a lot of this team on Lucio, on Mercy. Just a perfect main support this team needed, especially what their team looks like right now. They definitely need someone like Lee Jae-gon, and it's going to fit their team perfectly, honestly. Now to number 9, another shocker for me as well. Gangnam Jin on the Florida Mayhem. Now, it's not enough for Florida Mayhem, like I said, but Gangnam Jin will honestly do a lot on this team. I definitely think he'll try his best to do a lot on this team as well. And I think Gangnam Jin is mostly going to try his best to prove himself in this league if Florida does not do well and try and go to a different team. Because I definitely think that's what Yaki and Gangnam Jin, that's my vibe. I think they're going to try and do if Florida does not end up being good. Now to number 8, another one that shocked me, and you guys agreed with me on stream. It is Doha on the Dallas Fuel. I think a lot of people aren't aware how much Doha plays, especially hero-wise, when it comes to the team. He's very, very flexible. Obviously, we know him for his Reaper and his Sombra most recently, but he plays a lot of projectile heroes and even some hit scan if that's somewhat needed. But the hero pool things will fit him well. All around, Doa's very flexible, almost like if Rascal's back on Dallas Fuel. Now, obviously, Rascal's way better than Doa, but it's almost like that, but Doa's all around a good player. On to number 7, the K on the Dallas Fuel. Another, huge pickup for the Fuel, especially in the hit scan area, because they have been pretty weak in the hits game when it comes to their team. Decay coming in, absolutely insane. Now, yes, his Widow has not been as high as a level as it was back on his previous teams he's been on, but Decay coming in could probably make Dallas a little bit better. Hopefully that doesn't end up happening, but Decay is still pretty huge of a pickup for the Dallas Fuel. Now at the number 6, it is going to be Glister on the line of Spitfire. I do think Glister, just like the Florida Man pickups, I think he will try his best to prove himself so he goes to a different team. Maybe he'll stay on the line of Spitfire just to go throughout the season and not want to be traded. Who knows? But Glister is an insane hit scan player and a little bit of a projectile players here and there. But Glister going to be very exciting to watch him play on his team, and I'm excited to watch him play. I'm not even a lot of Spitfire fan. Now at the top 5, I know this one was pretty hard to make on stream, and even you guys had a hard time helping me out here on stream because this one was very hard to do. But number 5 was probably the easiest one. It is Space on LA Gliders, a tank that has been consistent 24/7. He's very flexible, very communicative, a tank you just want on all your teams. And the LA Gliders got a big pickup from Space, and he's just going to make this team just better than what we think of right now. Huge impact for sure. Then on to number 4, just because of him not having Overwatch League experience yet, it's going to bring him down to 4. It is going to be Alarm on Philadelphia Fusion. Now, that could end up not mattering at all, but the players above him is just huge as well. But Alarm on this team is just something Philadelphia Fusion has wanted for a long time to replace Boombox. They had this in mind since day 1 when they got Fusion Uni and had Alarm on the team. Alarm coming in, bringing a lot to this team, especially if Funny Astro by his side. I think Alarm's going to at least be in the top 5 category when it comes to off sports for sure. Now in the number 3, kind of like Alarm, hasn't had Overwatch League experience yet. Edison, number 3. I definitely think Edison, just in general, going to Atlanta Reign is almost unfair at this point. Edison and Erster is just going to be a scary DPS duo that I feel like a lot of people actually aren't aware of, it feels like. So Edison coming in, going to be scary with the Atlanta Reign, going to make this team way better, especially compared to Season 2, and mostly the signing just changes Atlanta by a lot. Now at the number 2, it is going to be Fury with the Philadelphia Fusion. Gonna help Sato for sure when it comes to his aggressive playstyle. Gonna bring a lot to Philadelphia Fusion, and just all around, just a good signing. What else is there to be saying? He did great on Line of Spitfire all the time. Not that many bad games, if any, not any at all. Consistent 24/7 on the Line of Spitfire team. Now he's going to bring up the Philadelphia Fusion. I'm just excited to watch Fury play. Now, if it wasn't obvious enough, number 1 is going to be Prophet. He is the best player in all of Overwatch League, arguably the best. Just very flexible. Can play some hits games for fun and still own enemy teams, and his projectile play is insane. There's nothing much to really say about Prophet. Very flexible. Is good on almost everything. Prophet just brings a lot to Soul Dynasty this team needed in general. Almost like every team needs Prophet. I think this one was pretty obvious. I even predicted Prophet to be number 1 before we even started making this list on my stream. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I did say I was going to do more tier lists, before these videos are going to happen, but, time just did not work out. But I did want to push these videos out on the weekend because Overwatch League's starting, and I wanted to bring some big videos for you guys that I wanted to do, and here they are. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to join my Discord down below. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitter and my Twitch, and don't forget to hit that bell, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.